Hey everyone, I'm back, and today we're going to be talking about Catwoman. And this movie came out in 2004, starring Halle Berry, and it's a film that I think is somewhat iconic. Pretty much everyone knows what this movie is. It is a film that gave Halle Berry a Razzie Award, and she accepted it at the Razzies and pretty much blamed a bunch of people for getting her that Razzie. And if you haven't seen that video before, it's pretty funny. And this movie had $100 million budget, and it grossed about 85 million or something. So didn't really bring in what they wanted. And I watched the movie, heard nothing but terrible things, and yeah, this is a very, very bad movie. And the first thing that stood out to me as like really bad was the editing. There's way, way too many cuts, like almost ADHD levels of bad editing. Like you can barely make out to what's going on in so many scenes in this movie, especially the action scenes. They are ruined by the editing in this film. Like you can barely make out what's going on in these scenes simply because of the editing. Like if the movie was not edited this badly, like you would have something better at the very least. I'm not going to say good. I'm just going to say better. The acting in this movie is terrible. Halle Berry in this movie, she is like whispering at times. Sometimes she's very over the top. And I don't ever quite know what she's going for. And that kind of goes for everyone in this movie. Sharon Stone was just bad. The most entertaining parts of this movie is when it's over the top, which is so many scenes in this movie. It's just ridiculous. And there's a basketball scene in this movie that is just insane. Like, I was just watching it and I'm like, what are you doing? And that was pretty much my entire experience while watching this movie, is that I was just in awe of what this movie was doing. And the only good thing I can say about this movie is that it was never boring. I was thoroughly entertained. It did not fail when it came to entertainment, even in the slightest. Like, I was fully with it, not intentionally. There were also too many close shots that just didn't let me experience much of the visuals. And speaking of visuals, the visual effects in the movie aged like milk. They did not age very well. CG cats that just don't look like they're a part of the environment. And when characters jump, they jump like, I don't know, 50 feet in the air, and that's Catwoman. I don't know how that works in terms of physics or anything, but whatever. It's a comic book movie. I guess I could give it a little bit of leeway, but unfortunately, it's just very distracting in this movie, if you ask me. And the character Catwoman is over-sexualized to the point where it was distracting. And sure, you could make that argument for like different interpretations of the character, like in Batman Returns or The Dark Knight Rises. Like, the character was sexualized to some degree, but this movie just takes it way too far. Like, you can see her costume just on the cover, if I can show it to you without any glare. Like, she looks like a stripper. Like, the fact that she has like scratches all over her pants and is basically not even wearing a top almost. It's just distracting, and I can't get past the fact that she just looks like a stripper the entire movie. There were also lots of weird scene transitions in this movie that were very, I don't even know if I should say early 2000s, because I remember fast forwarding a bit and then just stop doing that. Like, that was a thing for a while in early 2000s movies. But in this movie, it's just very weird scene transitions that just don't fit, really. And also, this movie doesn't really tie into, like, anything DC, really. From memory, I don't think the movie takes place in Gotham City. And also, Catwoman, her alter ego is Patience, not Selena Kyle for some reason. I don't know why. And the only real connection to anything Batman related was one of the characters who was telling patients just like who she is. She's a Catwoman. Her last name was Powers. And the reason that stood out to me was because I've seen clips of the Batman Beyond animated series, and I know that one of the villains in that show is Derek Powers. And I think that might have been a connection, possibly. I'm not too sure, but it doesn't really matter because this movie wasn't successful. And now I kind of want to talk about the music choices. They were very distracting, and they were in action scenes, and the way not only the song choices were bad and distracting, but also the way that they were used was just, I don't even know what to say. It was just leaving me with no words, basically. And I was just thinking to myself, what are you doing? This feels so conflicting with the tone. And the tone for this movie is all over the place. Sometimes it's very serious, sometimes it's very goofy. And it just doesn't mesh these two tones very well at all. And I don't even know if this movie was trying to be serious or if it was trying to be fun. Like, there's kind of a mix of both. I'm going to say serious because I guess it's more serious than it isn't serious, but the goofy stuff in this movie just feels so out of place, but I'm glad it's in the movie because it did make the movie very entertaining. The basketball scene in this movie was gold, and there was also a moment where Catwoman was eating fish, sushi, and that was also gold, if you ask me. And I guess I should mention this. How does this movie compare to Madam Web? Because this movie came out 20 years ago. And how much of a difference is there between bad superhero movies back then to now? They have different problems in a sense, I guess, both this and Madam Web. Like, this one is more bad, but it's more cheesy and trying to, I guess, commit to that, but failing. Whereas Madam Web is just trying to set up movies that are never going to happen and just failing at that. But both movies are very funny in a so bad it's good way. Like, I love both of these movies as like kind of funny bad movies. I don't know. This one is just more cheesy to me. Like, just trying to be funny but failing, and I kind of love that it failed. I don't know if that makes sense for you guys, but that's just how I felt while watching this movie. And that's about all I have to say about Catwoman. It was terrible. Does it deserve all the hate? I guess it does, but I will defend this movie as a funny bad movie because I was thoroughly entertained by this movie. Never a dull moment, always with it very funny. And I guess I should also mention that I wished it was a little bit shorter. Very cheesy, very stupid. It doesn't really understand what it is. Very dated. And that's what makes it funny bad to me. So with all that being said, I'm going to give Catwoman a 1 out of 10. But it's a funny bad 1 out of 10 movie for me. So if you like funny bad movies, then check it out. Otherwise, don't watch this movie. Thank you for watching my videos as always. If you enjoyed this review, be sure to leave a like and comment down below you thought of Catwoman, and my social media links, they will all be in the description, so follow me there. And last but not least, subscribe to be a part of Foley Nation, and I'll see you when I get my next review up, and that is going to be for 1917. So look forward to that, but until I get that up, thank you for watching and have a great day. Also, one last thing to mention before I end this video. I do have to give a big thank you to each and every one of you for subscribing to my channel, because at this moment, at the time of me recording this, I have officially reached 500 subscribers on my channel. So I just have to thank each and every one of you for subscribing, and for also those who have been with me since day one or whenever you subscribed to my channel. Thank you so much. Couldn't have done it without you, and I'm very happy to be here. So thank you, each and every one of you, for subscribing.